Hey everybody, I've been wanting to make part 4 of this video series for at least a week, and essentially I've had the whole thing, well, I felt like I had the whole thing sorted out. The idea was there, and then I just couldn't find the time. Even today I'm running around like a fool, and I decided, you know what, it's time to just sit down and do this. And not everything is perfect. I've just had the fortune of having a day off, and I spent it with my wife, and I was in the ocean. And it's extremely windy down here, so my hair is crazy, and I don't care. This part of being human is that it's not going to be perfect all the time. You're not going to have lost that 5 pounds. You're not going to have all the money you need. But you can rest assured that if your intuition tells you to do something, you have everything you need to do that right now. So I'm taking some time here to do this. And in keeping with the simplifying the spiritual awakening well, video series that I've been doing, this is the ultimate simplification. So I explained what the ego was. I explained that you are a spiritual being on a human journey, that it's a wisdom school. And the radical acceptance of that is the whole point of this entire school. That you are a spiritual being in a human body. Not here to escape from the human body, but to fully be human. That is the point. Your free will is an illusion. It's an illusion to keep you trapped in the ego, and it's the ego, the egoic mind. It's its way of trying to feel like it's in control. Like it has a measure of control over what's happening. So the message you get from the scientific community on what's happening here is infinitely confusing. If you start going down that rabbit hole, you will find nothing but stress. The ego wants to latch onto that because it needs that answer. It needs that physical proof that there is a God and there is more to this. And you're just not going to get it. It's an endless rabbit hole. And it's so deep that there's so much information in there that the human mind can't possibly figure it all out or cover it all or have a grasp of understanding of everything that it needs to even formulate an opinion. That's how deep the 3D world is. I tried. And then you can go the spiritual route and it's no better. There are a million ways to describe this place. A million ways to attain enlightenment. A million descriptions of the other side, of who is a savior and who is not a savior, and all of it is confusing. The answer was always the simplest thing you can think of. Radical acceptance of the moment. Like the Buddha says, he was teaching suffering and the end of suffering. Your trip here, if the soul wants to have an experience of lack, you're going to experience lack. The only free will you ever had, like Dimitri, my new friend, says, is your choice on whether to accept that radically or not. The suffering comes from the unacceptance of it. It is what it is. If your soul wants to experience health issues, if your soul wants to experience any manner of calamities in this human body, it's going to. And the only thing you're going to do by resisting is suffer. That was always the answer. I wish there was use this manifestation technique and all your problems will be solved. It just doesn't work. It's not like that. That's not how this place works. You know? And that's from my experience, from my perspective of where I am right now. And I know that there's no transcending this messiness that is being the human. You don't get out of it. You don't get out of having physical ailments and your hair being messed up and everything. You get sweaty. You have to have bowel movements like everybody else. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much spiritual enlightenment you have. You still must be human. And I just heard a lyric in a song that said, the wick is... Have you ever noticed that the wick is black? The candle wick is black. The candle wick that leads to the light is black. The darkness, the 3D, the earthly humanness of these avatars, those are the path forward to the light, to the candlelight. It always was. I mean, why else would you come here? If it was just to escape it, to transcend all of this, why would you bother? Just stay on the other side. You incarnated here for a reason. So, you get all of these content creators and, I mean, it's endless. Endless bombardment with ways to manifest or jump timelines or tarot readers. I love me some tarot. I really enjoy deciphering, decoding the universe. It's the thing that I enjoy doing, thinking about this stuff. So as a tool for understanding how the universe works, it's invaluable. As a way to predict the future, why would you need to do that? You're on a roller coaster you can't get off. Your only choice, your only free will has ever been, do I accept this situation or not? Do I suffer through this or do I learn radical acceptance? Do I sit in the ego and lost in thought and worrying about the future and mulling over every single possible outcome for the future? Or do I trust that I'm in God's hands? Everything's going to be okay. It always has been. This is your choice. It's a very hard choice to make. When you're deeply in the ego, the people that will see this will not like what I'm saying if they aren't where I'm at. Because it means you have to accept everything about yourself as perfect and that there was never anything wrong and there is no one to blame. There is only one choice to be made at every moment. Do I accept this moment or not? You take action from a place of presence, and that doesn't mean that you accept if you're stuck in a physically harmful situation that you just sit there. It means you stay present and you make the choices you need to make from the right place, from the seat of power that always was, from your higher self, not from the ego. So as you awaken, as you enlighten, your perspective changes. like my balloon analogy in my other videos over this. The hot air balloon, you start to drop baggage and you rise higher and you can see more of the puzzle that you've been placed into. And you can learn when you do this, the more you let go, the higher you go. So it becomes an addictive thing. This healing process and this dropping of conditioning becomes addictive because every time you do it, there's an aha moment. And that moment is my favorite moment of anything that I've ever experienced in this earthly plane. It's the when I feel the most connected to Source because I get it now. And I'm striving and struggling and trying to figure this out, and then boom, it's there. And it was always going to come when it was going to come. That analogy is going to come when you need it, and not a moment before, not until you've learned the lesson. So I'm getting much, much better at just letting go of control, accepting that we have to live out our existence in these sweaty meat sacks. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to grow old, to have all these gray hairs, to have the time and energy to make a video for God knows who. But like I've said, or I've been saying in this video, if something confuses you, something makes you feel like you don't have control and you're desperate to try to get it back, it's triggering your ego, either news or what you think you like, these scientific studies and videos explaining things, the 3D. If you can get good at this and sit in presence and ask yourself every time you watch one of these things, does it make me feel better or worse? If you just get good at that, that's all you need to do. Does breath work make me feel better? Then do it. That's it. It's that simple. If it doesn't, don't. And the more you do this, the higher your balloon will rise and the easier it becomes to do it again. And the more you can see the picture, the reasoning behind all of this, the reason you're having to do all of this. You can't shortcut this. You can't manifest your way out of it. This isn't going to work for you. Sorry, kid. And, the people selling that stuff, they don't know why they're doing it. They think they're doing good and that their system will work for you. And they're doing it providing a service. If someone believes that that's going to work for them at that point in their life, then that's where they're at. And they need something to use in order to run that experiment through. Mosquito. Gotcha. Oh, see? You can't get rid of mosquitoes. You can't manifest your way out of that. Having to eat and shower. Do all this stuff just to maintain an existence is part of this human experiment. It's not, you'll never manifest your way out of it. No matter how much money you have, you still have to go to the bathroom. So it's why we're here. So again, the scientific proof, the endless amounts of information, not important. The spiritual proof, endless amounts of information, not important. All that's important is that you have radical acceptance of the moment that you're in. and that you determine if something gives you peace or not in the moment. If it doesn't, drop it like a bad habit. That's the answer to all of this. And this isn't going to sell. This message isn't going to sell. It's been around for a long time. The Buddha's been preaching it. Eckhart Tolle basically says the same thing over and over and over. You just have to be present in whatever moment you find yourself in. And if you can do that, the more you do that, the easier this game gets. It doesn't mean that you're going to be wealthy or famous or who knows, who cares. What it means is when you get to this place where I'm at, that you can enjoy life no matter what it throws at you, like mosquitoes. I accept that the mosquitoes exist. Do I wish they didn't? I mean, come on. What's the good of them? But they are here. I have no choice but to accept it. If I fought against the moment and resisted as much as possible, then those mosquitoes would drive me crazy, and I would be even angry as to why do these things have to exist? And what good does that do you? It doesn't. So, full circle, right back to accepting what is. When you do that, you're in alignment. When you're in alignment, your health improves. You've dropped energy, you've dropped resistance to things that you can't change, which only drags you lower. It only drags your entire vibration as a whole lower. If you accept you're in alignment, you're in a state of happiness more often. Happiness leads to health, laughter, enjoying of the whatever you have while you have it. No matter what your situation is, if you have a loved one and you are a happy person, the relationship with that person is better. Therefore, your situation is better. It's as simple as that. It always was. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, I don't know how many more parts of this there will be. I don't know if there's anything more to say about this than what I'm saying right now. I don't think there is. Maybe I can find a way to help you, if you're at where I am, see this more clearly. If there is, I will continue. So like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we will see you soon.